Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, Enterprise Friday it is, reaching you from Enterprise Television to our conversation for today. The village head of Woro in Kaiama local government area of Kwara State, Umar Salihu, has alleged that security forces arrived nearly 10 hours after terrorists attacked his community, leaving scores of residents dead and homes destroyed. Speaking in an interview, Salihu said the attack began around 5 p.m. and lasted through the night, despite repeated distress calls to authorities. According to him, soldiers only arrived at about 3 a.m. the following day, by which time the attackers had already fled.
Very true. Now, he noted that there was no military engagement or air interdiction during the assaults. Salihu explained that Woro had been left vulnerable after soldiers previously stationed in the area were withdrawn following an earlier attack on the base. He identified the assassins as members of the Mamuda terrorist group, alleging that the violence was triggered by the community's refusal to accept their ideology. Now, he also dismissed claims of religious conflict, stating that most of the victims were Muslims.
All right, let's get talking. Innocent Abdulluba is still here with us. Thank you so very much, Innocent. Truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
My pleasure to be here.
Yes. Yeah, so Innocent, let's talk about this radical movement of Islamic groups, Mamuda, hoping to take over Kwara at a time like this. Now, this is not an attack on Christian communities this time. It is an attack on Muslim communities. So it's like Muslim on Muslim violence at this point. So what's your take on the ideology of these criminals, these terrorists, whose intention is not even for conversion any longer, but to do whatever it is the ideology looks like? What's your take, Innocent?
Well, first of all, we cannot form religion from what is going on. The prime suspects are ISIS and Boko Haram. Those are Islamic organizations. So the narrative of genocide on Christians, for me, remains. So it's appalling, Harry. If you look at the report, even though the police spokesperson, Adito Nigeria Adeyemi, said the police are mobilized, there are gory sites, Woro, local government area. The villagers are in disarray. Some people flee into the bush, not knowing they are going to be their attacks. And there are footage of on their local television where these are lying on the ground in their own blood, some with their hands tied, some houses are being burned, And this is what we've talked about, the American truth. Is the outcome of security lapses. Nigeria has a lot of ungoverned territory that these people are taking advantage of. And I would always tell you, why are all local governments in Nigeria not carrying out drone surveillance? Drone surveillance. When these people attack, they are not caught. We can see where they are headed. So but anyway, even the governor, Abdulrazak, has said that the attack is a cowardly expression of frustration by terrorist cells. And it's not looking good. And one of the senators or lawmakers from Kwara, Saidu Baba Ahmed, has also told the reporters that the gunmen rounded up residents, bound their hands behind their backs, and killed them. So this is the definition of genocide by Islamic inclined groups, ISIL and Boko Haram. So the rhetoric of Muslims being killed or not remains. The killing is being initiated by Muslims. So that is where my narrative rests. This is not balancing killing Christians with killing Muslims. More so, lives are also being taken.
Wow, last year was about the killings of Christians, and so is it that? Okay, let me just point this out to you, Mr. Innocent. Is it that we had numerous reports on the killings of Christians? That was last year, and now in Kwara State we see that they're killing Muslims. Now, do you think they are more of like taking it from one stage to the other, since they killed some Christians last year? Do you think this is going to be more of, which we don't pray for, is going to be more of like, okay, targeted towards the Muslims?
Is this an ideology to balance the equation, such that the international community will not see it as if Christians are being targeted?
Yeah.
Well, I think I spoke to that in my earlier response.
Okay.
I don't know. We know Muslim terrorist groups in Nigeria: ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram, all of them. Do you know any Christian terrorist group in Nigeria? So let's not be comical and playing God with human lives. You just look at the narration. You tie people's hand behind them, burn them, butcher them, to justify what? That it's not only Christians that are being killed. It is wrong for a Christian to take a Christian life. It is wrong for a Christian to take a Muslim life. It is wrong for a Muslim to take a Christian life. It is wrong for a Muslim to take a Muslim life. They've committed murder, arson, disturbing the peace, and when they catch them, the government tells you they repented. So the government is propagating what is ongoing rampantly, And Kwara State have been one of the loyalists to the northern traditional administration under the Sultanate of the Sultan of Sokoto. There are separatist groups in Taraba, in Benue. These traditional rulers sometimes show dissent to that too. For them, their chiefdom, if I should use that word, is within their ethnic enclave. They don't need to travel 11, 12 hours to go and bow to the stool at Sokoto. But Kwara is loyal. So you wonder, what's their offense? A descendant of Uthman Danfojo is the emir in Kwara. So you wonder, what do they want? It is for the government, Henry, to transparently and objectively purge the country of all these demented dissidents.
But do you think, sorry for interjecting there, Innocent, do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the gusto to do that sincerely? Do you think he has that thing, that aha moment in him to carry out a counter-attack on this terrorist and flush them out?
I will say it like this. Amidst the manifesto of President Tinubu, he is running into his third year because 2 years have gone. So within that time, has any IDP camp been closed and the people return to their place? Within that time, has any of the occupied villages by these terrorist groups been purged so villagers can return? Within this time, how many arrests have been made? Within this time. So if you look at my questions, they add up to tell you that one thing missing with the President Tinubu administration is the genuine political will and intentional competence to curb insecurity. And like I will say, the deficit of any administration is a plus for the opposition to get closer to victory on election, barring rigging and the operation of electronic voting.
Okay, so why does Nigeria's security response remain largely reactive? Because from the story now, they came after.
Please say again.
Okay, I said I'm asking, why does Nigeria's security response remain largely reactive, based on what we read from our main conversation?
Did you get the question?
Well, the country is different. We're in dire straits. We're in dire straits. We are not at war like Sudan or South Sudan, but within Nigeria there are refugees, millions of internally displaced people. People who should farm in Plateau are not farming. People who should farm in Benue are not farming. People who should farm in Taraba are not farming. And so food is at its highest cost. It's not going down. So if a basket of tomato 9,000 now sells for 70,000 and drops to 65,000, you say it's not going down. It's a far cry from 9,000 where it took flight, So I don't know. No, but it's a mystery to the ordinary eye, including myself commenting, because in the days of President Obasanjo, Udi in Delta, Takibiam in Benue couldn't contain all of these insurgencies. In the days when President Muhammadu Buhari was a military president, he drove some of these people. Henry, there are the Matsaisine and all of that.
Yeah.
So we no longer see such genuine political will. One of the principal functions of any government is the protection and security of human lives. That is absent now. Even as we talk of this insurgency, we have not delved into banditry, open kidnapping, some even in the southeast, not just in the north, let's be open. We are just lucky that maybe here in Lagos, across the Djibouti, but there is a semblance of a calm. The country is in a restive state, and the masses are losing trust in the government.
The masses are losing trust in the government, obviously, and we can say that. But despite all of this, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, lots of people would say, is very so fixated on playing politics rather than governance at this point. But what's your take, really, Innocent Aduluba? As a student of leadership, it's our desire to possibly do better than what our leaders are doing today. Do you think we would ever get it right in this country with what our current leaders are doing to politics in Nigeria, to democracy in Nigeria? Do you think we would ever get it right, or do we see Nigeria slowly going down the slippery slope to damnation? What's your take?
You said, do I think that what?
Do you think Nigeria would ever get it right with the kind of leaders, knowing that the current leaders we have all polluted the pool?
Well, there are no leaders in Nigeria. Take that from me. There are only political office holders. A leader is different from a political office holder. Chinua Achebe is not in any political position. He's a thought leader, Henry. Even to a large extent, Professor Wole Soyinka is a thought leader. So, I'm looking for the leaders. Maybe Governor Alex Oti, I can point at him as a leader. A leader is the one that commands voluntary followership without inducements. To some extent, I will look at Sowore as a leader. Maybe a greater extent, I will point at Peter Obi as a leader. When you see, Nigeria is, if it were possible, we declare vacancy and look for leaders. Because if you look at in the days of yore, there were leaders everywhere. If Ganifa Wahimi, that's a leader. Even the leaders we have now may not be allowed to hold public offices. If you look at the intricacies playing out. So I don't think we have leaders. We should not approximate someone who won an election as a leader. The Enugu government, Mba, is the Enugu state governor, becomes a leader. He's a governor. There is a dictionary definition of a governor that suits him well. I don't now know if the definition of a leader is appropriate to him. To a large extent, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a leader. He's a big political leader with cult following. What remains to be seen is if his leadership is beneficial to the masses and the network of people who leadership is not by inducements. We have lots of Nigerian leaders who are thriving by inducement. Once they are no longer occupying where they are, that leadership network crumbled. And it's because we cannot get new sets of leaders, politically speaking. If you want new sets of leaders, public office holders, they need to be rich or become God's sons to godfathers. And that route does not bridge leadership. It sustains the political cabal and the godfatherism network. Henry, you cannot use your salary and house rent and investment to buy a political form now. Are you guaranteed you will win? So how do you emerge as a nouveau leader, the way the French will have nouveau riche? How do you emerge? The bourgeois has a wide net in Agege local government area. The son of the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa, is already the local government chairman. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is grooming his son in the nursery, in the political nursery. So, if anybody is contesting if anybody is contesting for what the son of Mr. Nyesom Wike is contesting, they will lose.
Definitely.
So Henry, the leadership question is a big one. I don't know. I don't think I have a solution for where I sit. As long as they are going to pass through the political route, it's a problem.
A very big problem it is. It's so very unfortunate that we are saying this and we are normalizing it in Nigeria. So bad. If 170 persons were killed in a decent climb around the world, flags would have been flown at half staff. In Nigeria, our president feels he has sent soldiers to do what exactly? And that is the question that we have. At the Australia beach, where some Islamic jihadists, the father and the son, killed about 15 persons. The country was they were really not feeling good about it. It was a national emergency.
Yes, it was.
International emergency, it was. In Nigeria, 170 Nigerians have been killed. Not cows, not goats, but human beings. And we all feel it's okay for us to just talk about it while those in power feel they've sent soldiers and everyone wants to go about their normal business. This is not a country. This is not a democracy that we're practicing. And certainly, we do not have the right leaders currently. That's all we have for today. Thank you so very much, Innocent Adeloba. Truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
The pleasure is mine. We just continue with lamentations.
Lamentation it is. No actions afterwards. But that's our time for today. Love to say thank you. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Kehinde Bodun.
God bless you.
God bless Nigeria.
Bye-bye.
Do have a lovely weekend.
Bye.